Hello everyone, this is Tamara with RCU Designs. I'm coming to you today to actually complete a design that is near and dear for me because it's a direct representation of who I am. So today, the design will actually, the stitching will be through a variegated type thread. And the second part of the design will be completed using the 3D puff. All of this will be done using my 8x13 mighty hoop. This is just one of the many hoops that I have in my collection by Hoop Master. I tell you, using this particular hoop by far is the easiest way to hoop a garment. It is so convenient, and as long as you use the alignments and the T measure, then you are almost guaranteed a perfect fit. For the back of this, I'll be using the no-show stabilizer. No-show stabilizer is actually the preferred stabilizer when using t-shirt designs, and I find it to be easier and less aggravating to those with sensitive skin. Although I have the soft touch stabilizer that you can adhere to the back of it, I personally prefer using the no-show stabilizer for these t-shirts. So if you would just stay with me today and watch me go through the different process of how to complete this design. Stay tuned. Okay, so the first step in this process is to actually get your mighty hoop, or excuse me, your hooping station, so that you can place your mighty hoop on the station to get ready for your hooping of your garment. So I want to make sure that I have actually aligned this in the right position to fit the 18x13. Oh, almost there. Just need to go down one more section here. I'll take this out. More here. So I'll bring this down here. Sometimes it can be a little tricky if you don't have everything aligned up correctly. So just have to make sure that the numbers are aligned. It seems like here I need to go up one more. So today, once I get everything set up and hooped, I will be using my Ricoma TC-1501, the 15 needle machine. I will say this is the first commercial machine that I've used. Before I was using a Brother PE800, and that's the machine that I learned to embroider on. Although friendly, it's just a single needle, and the limited sewing space became a hassle. So I wanted to not only invest in myself, but also invest in my business to be able to expand and be able to bring other just to be able to provide a wider service to community and beyond. So after doing research and watching other business owners and just listening to them and their recommendations, the best option for me was to go with the Ricoma TC-1501. All right, so as you can see, I actually cut the no-show stabilizer to the dimensions to fit the hoop. So now I'll bring it back over. So now what we will do is actually place the shirt on the hooping station. When placing the shirt on a hooping station, you want to make sure that you align it properly, making sure that it's straight and the neckline is where you would like for it to be. Here, I've gotten to the point where I can just eyeball this to show where my center line is. And because this design is not a large design, this is why I'm using the 8x13 mighty hoop. So as you can see here, the dot is aligned to the line that's on the hooping station, which means that it's centered in this spot. So what I'm gonna do now is take this over to my machine and load it. Okay, I'm back. So what I did was I replaced the purple, which was on needle 9, to the lavender. So now what I'm doing is actually pulling the thread all the way through down here, and this is where I am going to have to cut it and rethread it because that knot wouldn't go down through the hole. So now that I've pulled the lavender through, it's just time for me to thread the needle, and hopefully this will be a seamless process. Sometimes it's seamless and then sometimes it isn't. It just really depends on the day, I guess. So everything is threaded through and it's gone through the white hole there. It's behind the tension bar. And now I will thread it through the 9 hole here and pull it under, and then thread it through the needle. Like I said, sometimes it can be seamless and sometimes it's not. Just gonna try to clip it again to where it's a clean cut. Let's see if that will help. Sometimes the thread begins to unravel for whatever reason. Not really sure why, but it will tend to unravel, which makes it difficult to go through the eye of the needle. Okay. So I was able to thread the needle. And once the needle is threaded, you will pull it through the eye of the needle and then down through the pressure foot of that particular needle and pull it under and then over into the spring bar. And then you would just cut the excess there. And I have some excess here I'm gonna cut as well. There you are. All right, so easier than I imagined, which is great. All right, now that I've threaded the number 9 needle, I'm actually gonna go in and change it to automatic. Choose my colors. The first one is gonna be 9 because the first thing that we're gonna stitch out is Overthinker. That's the first thing that we'll stitch out in this design, okay? And from there, we're gonna go to needle 15. If you recall, needle 15 is a variegated thread that we'll be using for professional. This is the color thread, remember? right, then I'm gonna press OK. And then what I'm gonna do here is decrease the speed and kind of nervous to be honest. So let me just measure this out, and yeah, I'm gonna measure this out and tape it to the garment. So give me one moment. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure that I have about 12 inches of foam. Yeah. It would definitely help if I were to just purchase an 8x11, but this is what I saw on, I think I purchased this from, no, I purchased this directly from Sophie. Instead of going through Amazon and places like that, or even Madeira. I'm sorry you're not able to see me. I'm actually at my working counter. All right, so now that I'm back in the picture, what I'm gonna do is adhere this foam to the garment. And the best way to do that is by using the medical grade tape. The medical grade tape is a tape that will not leave residue behind, and it's easy to remove, and it's easy to apply, and it's garment friendly. All right, so this is how we are going to use this. And I'll hopefully do believe that I have measured this out enough. Hopefully so. A lot of things I do by trial and error. I know that's not always right, but hey, sometimes your mistakes turn out to be your best work. So we'll see here what happens. Okay, so that isn't straight. Just want to get it here. And when you're doing the puff foam, I know, because it is, I'm not gonna say that it's expensive, but I will say that you want to try to reserve any excess that you have for like another project. You may have a smaller project or something that it would be easier if I move this out. You may have a smaller project that you're working on, and you just need like a little piece of foam, right? So it's best just to kind of reserve your excess that you may have from a previous project. All right. Be sure to apply this medical grade tape here. Just want to hold it down for the time being. And hopefully I don't have to stop the recording. But we are going to see what happens. All right. And as you can see, I actually moved the hoop closer to me. Remember to move it back so that you don't have an issue where you are damaging your needles or your pressure foot or even your mighty hoop. I'm gonna tell you, I love my mighty hoops, so I definitely, each time I use them, make sure that I am taking special care of them and that they aren't damaged. Okay, once again, I'll do another trace here. I think I've traced enough. All right, so what I'll do now, let's go ahead and start. Remember, it's gonna start out with needle number 9. And that's the lavender thread. So we're gonna press start. It's moving over to needle 9, and I'm gonna start here. Oh, I didn't do something right, huh? So we're gonna go back. So I'm going to stop actually takes you back. It backs up the stitches. So let's see what happened here. Could be a tension thing. Not really sure. Now what I'm gonna do is actually slow the speed down as well. I think that would be best to slow the speed down. So let's do that. Slow it down to 5 to 620, just to get it started. I'll cut off a little bit more of the thread here. Thread the needle again. Okay. I'm going to take it through the pressure foot once more. Okay, here. One other thing that I'm going to do as well is check my bobbin, which I'm almost certain that it's fine because I just used it or just changed it. And let's see here. Yep, it appears to be fine. Enough bobbin in here, so we're good to go. And this is something that you want to do each time you start a new design. It's just to make sure that you have enough bobbin in your case here. Okay. Make sure you hear that click. That means the bobbin is in place. And what I'm going to do is get something like maybe a pencil of sort to kind of hold this down while it's stitching, and then we'll go from there. Let's see, it's gonna start here. Let me bring it out just a little bit. Just a little nervous because I feel like it was so close to the edge. I'm gonna move this over some, so that the entire word is in the foam. So I am green to doing videos, guys, and I know some of you are professionals and I admire you and your techniques that you use, but however, starting out, for me, I have to find out what's gonna work best, right? What's gonna be my niche, and how I'm gonna be successful in doing this. All right, so I'm going to tape it there, and then I'm going to give it one nice tape here, and I'll just hold it down. Hopefully all goes well. Let's see here what we're going to do. I'm going to push it back in, and we are going to start once more. Let's see what happens. Needle number 9. And there we go. Work. And fingers crossed. Stitching line. I'm going to take a short break here, and I will be back once this is done. Okay, so I've completed the puff design stitch out. So what I'm doing now is just cutting the strings off and pulling the puff off, so that now we can go in, or actually I can go in and stitch the wording. So as you can see, this really, it's an easy pull. Just want to make sure that before I do anything else, or before I apply heat to it, that I get the other foam remnants out of around from the stitching and the lettering. And in order for this to have a cleaner look, once I've completed the other stitching, I'll actually go in and apply the heat gun after I've removed the other pieces of the foam. I will apply the heat gun to actually melt the stitching that's around, or the foam that's around the stitching. I just love the way that this turns out. I love that puff effect. Do this. It gives it, once you apply the heat, it gives it a cleaner look. So for the sake of time, what I'm gonna do now is just go ahead and complete the stitch out, and I will come back later and show you the finished design. Alright, so seems like we have a thread break here. So what I'm gonna do is rethread this and slow the speed down. With the variegated thread, it's temperamental. Not really sure why you have to slow it down. I kind of thought that the speed that I had it on was enough to prevent the thread from breaking. But as you can see, I was wrong. So what I'm gonna do now is just go in and rethread this and slow down the speed. So now that the bobbin is found, it's fine because I just changed the bobbin. I just thread in the needle. Showing you some behind the scene breaks of things that happen, I'll say. All right. I'm gonna start it back up with a slower speed. I think the slower speed will actually work better now. I don't think slower speed takes, well, so I thought. Let's see here. What's the issue now? Let me slow it down a little bit more and go start. Before I do this, okay, let me cut that. Okay, don't seem to be anything wrong here. All right, let's try this once more with the slower speed. And sometimes what happens when the needle goes over that little bobbin casing, it actually causes thread breaks. And I know now it's about time for me to probably clean out that area. But if I can get through this stitching without doing it, I'll be that's a win for me. But if it continues to break, then I know I'll need to go in and clean out the bobbin area. But I'm hoping that because I have slowed down the speed for the stitching, that I can get through this stitching without having to do that, and just do one final maintenance and foiling once I complete this tonight. Stop the video at this point and continue with it. It's a final product. Okay, everyone, here's a final product of Professional Overthinker. The last thing that is needed for this to be complete is just to clean up, heating up the puff embroidery on the machine, heating up the puff embroidery on the shirt to give it a more cleaner look. And then of course, cutting off the excess thread. I think this turned out to be amazing. I like the color combination, and I look forward to making one for you soon. Please, I ask that if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share this video so your family and friends could take a look at what RCU Designs can prepare for them as well. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you soon.